And Midtown residents were worried a landmark built more than 100 years ago would be torn down after it was recently sold.
Our Bella Caracta is on your side tonight with how the building continues to stand out in Omaha.
It's a cause for celebration.
We were concerned about this building.
With rich colored brick and ornamental designs.
We only have about 4 or 5 of these type of buildings here in Omaha.
The Rathskeller near 46th and Farnham Streets has changed hands a few times, but it's the signature style of renowned Chicago architect Louis H. Sullivan, which boldly shines more than a century later.
It's really unique because it's built in this Sullivan-esque style. This is a building of interest, and we don't want to see anything happen to it.
When the Rathskeller Beer House abruptly closed, the University of Nebraska Medical Center purchased it. UNMC is undergoing major construction.
And they recently tore down 7 buildings.
Preserve Omaha, a local nonprofit, was worried the Rathskeller would have the same fate as these 7 buildings. They reached out to the Nebraska Board of Regents, and 6 News reached out independently to UNMC. They say, quote, UNMC has no plans to demolish the Rathskeller building. In meetings with the Morton Meadows, Blackstone, and Dundee neighborhood associations, our representatives have emphasized that the building will be preserved and integrated into our design strategy for the area.
We were thrilled. We considered that to be a win, but we want to continue for them to make sure that we're watching this building.
From a warehouse to a coffee shop, and most recently a German beer house.
Our goal is to retain these historic structures so we continue to have a connection to our past, but also allow new development to happen.
For Preserve Omaha, they just want to see it standing tall. On your side in Omaha, Bella Caracta, 6 News.
UNMC was not able to share specific plans for the building with us just yet. We'll be sure to keep you posted when we do learn more.